YouTube, you've been good to us ever since you turned us off. Remember in the beginning, you wouldn't even let us talk.
You just heard the opening theme.
Oh, dude, like that.
That we're going for.
Yeah, that's our rig.
Welcome to the shit show.
Thank you for still tuning in, man.
I just gotta say that.
I like the way you say it. I would like to know, like, do you got to be thirsty to just get a bunch of subscribers, or how does that work? You know, how do you got to be thirsty? Are people just thirsty? If you would have got like 1,000 subscribers in their first year, you paying? You paying, or what's going on there? Or are you just sacrificing your whole life? You don't got an 8-hour job.
I saw one guy it was a gaming channel I used to watch a lot. It was called The Force Feed, and I remember started off. It only had like when I started watching, it was like 50,000 subscribers. And yeah, exactly, yeah. And I ended up, eventually unsubscribed. I stopped watching and whatnot. And I checked back. I was like, his videos are only getting like 20 to 50,000, so he must still be in that same area, right? I check, and he has 800,000 now. I'm like, hey,
damn, what a come up, man!
Grow your shit, grow it. So it's kind of cool, kind of like watching that grow.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was neat.
Well, how long would you say that was?
I'd say over a 5-year period.
5-year period.
Yeah, because I watched him heavier when he during like my wild days.
Yeah, almost added a mil.
Exactly. So
a 5-year period.
Another cool thing was there was this one kid. It's happened twice now that I've seen on Reddit. There was one kid. He did a bunch of camping and wilderness videos, and he did one video where he stayed in his backyard camping during a blizzard, and he's like a 13-year-old kid.
He's a fat white kid?
Yeah.
I seen this guy. Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, and before Reddit caught wind, he probably had like 75 subscribers or something. He even recently did like a 50 subscriber special video, and Reddit posted the video. They got wind of it. He now has like 800,000 subscribers.
That's awesome. I like that kid, man. I remember he did another one where he went out and stayed a night by himself somewhere.
Yeah, and there was another kid, probably like 9. Was doing a bunch of Fortnite, Minecraft videos. He did a 20 subscriber special video, and he had his family, his mom and dad, and his little brother there. And he just posted it real innocent. He had 2 to 10 views on all of his videos. Reddit caught wind of it. He now has like 300,000. So
God,
that's awesome, especially for these little kids, man. It's so great.
Thousands. Well, the thing is,
it just goes viral.
Can that kid? I don't know. It's like, can that kid even have that many subscribers? How does that work?
Well, I guess as long as they're getting data on him, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's.
But I think the age, as long as you agree you're 13, you don't think you got to prove you're 13. You can even appear to be younger. As long as you say you're 13.
What about them kids that do like that? What's that, like the number one in the world is like a toy review kid. He's not even 13 yet.
Yeah, but I think with the parents giving him permission and his parents being in the videos, he has his own toy line now.
Well, that just makes sense.
There's one kid, he did a bunch of opening videos.
Likes his toy reviews so
he did a bunch of unboxing videos, and the way he would set them up, like sometimes he set them up in his own homemade like paper mache eggs, and then he just reach in and would pull out whatever toy it is, brand new, review it on the spot, and he would do that for like 10 toys in this egg. Well, now he said, I forgot the kid's name, but now he sells so-and-so's egg, and it's just a bunch of random toys with his toy line and shit.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah. I like the idea of that a lot.
And the kid and his brand, he's a millionaire.
And also you can make, I'm just saying, like when they are that young, who's the real millionaire?
Well, I mean, they got like a $5 million house, that they, went through and on and did. So I think the parents are.
Yeah, it's weird when the kid is the one, that's the star of the show, and he really can't control his own finances.
Yeah. I would
call it caulking style.
I would hope as parents you set them up real nicely.
You would hope. But they get fucked all the time.
All day.
Especially them Hollywood ones, right? Yeah. Them little actors.
Yeah.
They always get fucked.
Like speaking of which, like on like an adult level, like what BuzzFeed does, they're a media company, they have their YouTube channel, and they hire people who are in charge of putting out and making and filming and shooting and creating the YouTube content that they release. Where you find certain ones or certain sets of videos or series or whatever, they grow big, and that's their main moneymaker. Like they had the Try Guys on BuzzFeed, huge brand for BuzzFeed's YouTube, like viral YouTube videos. They ended up wanting to split, and BuzzFeed did allow them to split, even though they were still partnering, but they have their own brand now. But a lot of people leave BuzzFeed YouTube because they don't own none of their shit. Everything created in that studio on their channel is owned by BuzzFeed.
Right.
So when
And
people
you can do it yourself.
Yeah, and when people make these huge brands and get big off it and start pulling in all this revenue, and they're still getting only like $100,000 checks, because they don't own their shit, it's like,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
when you can branch off and make the same people, because people are watching it for.
But then that
people,
place is saying, "Well, we made it. We made you.
Well, we fund it exactly." Yeah. So it was cool that the Try Guys were able to get the rights. They were able to succeed, and make their own brand and own their own brand and start their own business. That's cool to see that they were able to do that. But for a lot of people, it's not like that. They just get their baby, they get taken, it gets hit with another set of producers who work for BuzzFeed. So, yeah. But I mean, shit like that, yeah. Same thing with the kid. It's just like, I imagine like it'd be cool eventually if you see like you got this 10-year-old kid, he's suing his parents for like his brand. That'd be weird to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that would be cool though.
Like trademark or whatever.
Like,
but then it's like they created it kind of too.
Real right, exactly. Well, it's not popping up right now. So
I'm never like that.
Here we go. We're good now. I got you now.
But that for some reason that ties me into. I know it's completely off topic, but just like NFL running backs, right? Which is like. It's so funny right now because everybody like hates these running backs because they keep holding out because they want to get paid.
Yeah.
And they're like, honor the contract you signed. Well, the system is like systematically unfair to running backs because they only have an average of, it's now down to 3 years. But it's all if the known average was 5 years that a running back had. Well, when you get drafted, that's a 5-year contract right there. And you do make money, but if you're a third or fourth round, I mean, you can make $700,000, $800,000, and you got to do that. They expect you to do that for 5 years. So you're going to take 300 carries, 300 touches, let's say, a fucking year for 5 years straight, and then they're going to pay you. Well, then they don't want to pay you because you're coming out of your prime.
You probably had an injury here or there already.
Nobody wants a 30-year-old running back, and these coaches and these GMs literally say, "I don't pay running backs." That's literally what they say. They're not going to pay running backs. Even fans say that and shit. Like, I don't want to pay a running back. But they all get mad when Le'Veon wants his money or Melvin wants his money or Elliott wants his money. They know if they wait till the end of the contract, you won't pay them.
Exactly. And just
they literally,
off somewhere.
So they go like, I want off 2 or 3 years. I need my money.
Yeah, especially like when you look at Le'Veon's case where he's not just a running back, he's receiving, he's a blocker.
Yeah, he's definitely
I think he had some crazy stat that where like every time he lined up as a blocker, in the backfield, there wasn't a sack for I think it was like 10 straight games or it was something crazy like that or like no, it was the amount of plays. It was like a couple hundred plays or some shit like that straight of just like not having a sack when
they said they said he's one of the best at pass blocking.
Yeah. And then you also have what do people say when you're not able to open up that deep ball? You got to run it. So you're talking a huge dynamic of your offense capabilities being relied on a single position.
I seen a legit stat today. That was last year. There was 118 games where teams didn't give their starting running back 20 carries.
Okay.
In those 118 games, that team won 11 times. Such a low number. 11 out of 118 games.
That's
if your starter didn't carry it.
And that's enough. Like if it said 50 games or something, it'd be like, okay, we can maybe argue. But it's 11. Such a huge disparity.
Literally,
come on now.
90% of the time you lose the game if your starter's not carrying that rock.
I mean, it's also just like common knowledge. What's the first thing they say when they can't open up that deep ball? You got to run it to open up that deep ball, get that play action going. You got to run the ball. You got to be able to move the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking about a position throughout a game that's switched out maybe by 1 to 3 players, but you always got your main guy and who really takes it to him.
On top of that, as far as there's like a morale thing, apparently, offensive linemen, they like the run block. They don't want to pass block. They hate going backwards and then having to deal with somebody coming at them. They want to just go at somebody.
Exactly.
So you say, "Hi." That's way easier.
And you get one of them gaps open.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're trying to get paid. I think that's something that needs to be changed for them guys because that is just fucked up.
Yeah, you're talking people on the line. the line only gets attention when it's a really bad line.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it really does. Like I think the most recent was when the Steelers line, like there was something like with Big Ben. I think it was the Steelers line. No, it was the Cowboys line or something that was so good that it made Zeke Elliott's
Yeah,
like rookie
Cowboys.
breakout season
Cowboys,
and Dak
yeah.
Prescott look amazing.
Zeke ran for like 1,600 yards that year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just huge gaps. And that's what I love when they show Ezekiel Elliott's.
Ezekiel. Yeah.
Elliott's highlights and shit. Like it's always all these people like, look at the gaps. No one's even touching them. It's so mad. None of those guys ever get credit up front. That's the worst part.
I'll tell you what. When you're also the size of Ezekiel, you can wear crop tops. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the fuck am I to come at you and tell you? I'm not gonna call you kid for wearing a crop top, bro.
That guy's definitely fucking. Without the line, of course you want the line, but that guy'd be successful anywhere, I believe. You know, he's just super uber talented. I think that if I had to guess, when they re-sign that new deal, I think the players are going to say they want guaranteed contracts, and then I think that the NFL is going to say they want 18 games.
Yeah, Zeke's contract's something crazy. It's like 90 mil, about 50 guaranteed.
Yeah,
like man,
I think it's 60.
Like regardless,
50,
to have more than half guaranteed is just like that's unheard of, unprecedented. It's new. It's what people are getting.
But that's atrocious. And as far as sports go, that's atrocious though. And that's what I think people don't understand is when they talk about this number as well. Basketball, that whole 90 mil is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Baseball, that 90 mil is guaranteed. Soccer, that 90 mil is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Even in hockey, I believe. That 90 mil is guaranteed.
Yeah.
But in the sport where the most injuries happen, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, like I think a great example is Mesut Ozil on Arsenal. Probably hasn't been seen starting on for Arsenal about past year or so. I'm not clear on the whole situation, but I mean he's getting paid regardless of his appearance on the field or not, $300,000 a week. That's his wage right now. Getting paid that regardless if you're starting, regardless of the goals you score. Alexis Sanchez, he was getting paid a certain amount a week, and he also had add-ons, or it was like $11 million a goal or some crazy ass shit like that. Now, granted, he didn't score shit, so you save some money there. But soccer, those fully guaranteed soccer contracts. It's just one of those examples.
Well, you can look at Chris Davis every day, right? I mean,
exactly.
That's
more relatable.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Those documents just came out of the UFC for this lawsuit, so they had to release these documents, and they were showing comparisons to how much the UFC pays their fighters to everyone else.
Yeah,
it was bad, bro.
Yeah,
UFC's at like 20%. It was like 19.
True.
Yeah, Bellator was at like 41. Strikeforce was at like 62. So like other people were way higher, and the UFC was all the way down there.
Yeah, I mean, would you say that like your middle of the ground, your middle ground fighter in the UFC could beat the top guys in Bellator or so on? Would you say that?
Yeah, no, you can't say that no more. There's some badasses over there. Ain't no middle guy gonna go over there and beat Ryan Bader.
Middle guy in the UFC could go over and compete easily in the
top contender for sure.
Got you.
Yeah.
So then you see something like that and you're like,
they're top heavy.
Yeah.
The UFC's deep.
Yeah.
Bellator's top heavy. So like if you go to like, can they beat the champion? Well, they got good champions.
Well, just to put it, I'm just trying to put in perspective the pay disparities between what most people would consider a second-rate league of fighting
is paying more to their fighters.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So
at least more percentage of their revenue. Is that how it's calculated?
Revenue,
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So
you see,
it's usually 50. That's the going in sports.
Yeah.
It's 52-48 type of split, where like you get a little bit more.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that was you don't know this. Well, that was like the big thing of like when the last CBA for the NFL came up. I believe it was right after the NBA CBA. Right. So in the NBA CBA, the players elected to give more power to the league, basically, but for them to get more of the profits of the league. So when the NFL did theirs, they did the opposite. Right. The players wanted more freedom from the league, and they took less money. So that's how that ended up being like that.
You said the NFL?
The NFL took.
Okay.
They wanted more freedom from the league.
Gotcha. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They gave Goodell all the power. That was a complete accident. That's a complete separate thing. But basically, they got half the practices. They showed up a month later in the year.
Right.
You don't do contact practices for like 3 months. There's no 2-a-days no more. A lot of things like that, or no 3-a-days. There's a lot of things like that. Where the NBA, they came in earlier. They have to do basically whatever the teams ask.
Right.
But they got them guaranteed big bucks.
Yeah.
And obviously, you see, they got a lot of power too.
So what despite the reason NBA players being paid so much more, less of a roster, whatever, who think made the better deal there? As far as giving up more freedom,
I would say definitely NBA.
Definitely NBA.
Yeah,
by wide margin. By wide margin.
By wide margin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would make that NFL deal better? Is just like
guaranteed contracts, bro. It's simple as that.
So you keep the same amount of work, and you're just like, look, we want more guaranteed money.
We want all guaranteed money. There's no way that NFL players should be playing football.
So you just say the NFL should put in a policy in place to where they have to give more guaranteed money through the teams.
Fully guaranteed.
Gotcha. Fully 100%.
Fully, just like basketball and baseball. It's fully guaranteed money.
So could you see a problem with something like that, especially with NFL being more injury prone overall?
So that right there, though, that might be a problem, right? Well, you could say a lot of things. Okay, then raise the cap, raise the roster limit, go from 53. They've been arguing a 75-man roster limit instead of 53, so you got more men on
more
the field.
depth, yeah.
There's a lot of lines you can go above that, but regardless, like that argument right there is the argument for guaranteeing the contracts,
right? Because of the injury, get injured, and this person just makes not even a quarter of what the contract.
And it's also the number one sport in America, right? So let's not pretend it's 3 or 4 or 5.
Well, and it's also the most profitable out of the world.
Exactly.
I found that out recently. Right. Like the NFL was somewhere up into like 11 billion or so, and the Premier League, we're talking like soccer, international sport. World Cup, Champions League. I think they garner more views. Well, I think the Super Bowl is one of the most watched events. But anyway, you have a much bigger crowd, a much bigger audience globally. And they still more than double make what the Premier League, makes, which is only like $5 billion. I was
reading that you can't billionaires are having a hard time buying NFL teams. So when the Panthers recently sold for 2.3, I believe, there was a higher bidder that bid it more, but he couldn't provide a stable financial plan for the future. There's a bunch of rules you have to pay $300 million cash. Yeah. 300 mil cash, no matter what. You can pay more, but that's the bottom limit. And you can't accumulate more than 350 million in debt.
Right.
So if you can't line up a strategy basically of what you're going to do with that team, then you ain't getting a team.
Right.
So the guy that bought him was worth 11.3.
Man. It's just ridiculous, bro. It's so wild to think because the NFL watched around the world. It's not even considered an international sport. You get people New Zealand and, you get a lot of Europe who tunes in and whatnot. But, I mean, you don't see.
That's mainly because it's not played there. I think that's a big
thing.
Exactly. When you go to 100%. Spots like Canada, those people are watching.
CFL,
they're watching the NFL, too.
Yeah, they're watching it. Yeah, they are watching.
They know about football. And that's why, the NFL's trying to go to London. And it's trying to go to
Mexico.
It goes,
exactly. Well, you have those viewers. Yeah, exactly. You have those viewers. But it's just wild to be it makes so much more money with less of a market share as a sport, but it has more market share, because of all obviously it does because of the money.
They're all around better than market, right? Just think about the draft. The draft's a bigger event than the fucking NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, but when I think about it, I'm like you have the World Cup, you have different international leagues throughout the world in which your country plays throughout the year in a sport. You have soccer leagues in, pretty much every country. Australia. You have them in Russia. The Slavic regions. You have them in all of Europe, all over Europe. You got them in Africa. You got them in Mexico. You got them, in South America. You have them here. You have them in Canada. You have everyone in the world playing soccer. But the NFL is the top moneymaker throughout the whole world in sports leagues. It's
I
just
don't
it's just
wanna-
weird to me.
A lot of those
Wow.
play. Well, you're talking about a country with the GDP, right? Of well, not GDP, but the annual budget of 19 trillion.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can add a lot of them countries together that you're saying, that play and have teams together that don't have 19 trillion. There's probably 10 countries you can put together.
Yeah,
So
but
there's a lot of money.
But that community, most of these communities are tuning into the Premier League before they tune into American football. You know what I'm saying? Like you have more people throughout the world that tune into that Premier League internationally, who like top league soccer. Then you have coming in, to the NFL. That's what I'm saying. Like you have more people as a whole tuning into soccer around the world than the NFL, but the NFL just makes so much more money.
Yeah, I
And
don't
I
know
see what you're saying about
if
the value and the money.
and just like
people,
things like Las
buying into.
Vegas,
Yeah,
which is the thing I was seeing. I forget the country's name, but China basically they made a Chinese Las Vegas, and it's fucking beautiful, bro. And this thing has just been rapidly growing. In 2020, it'll surpass Qatar as the wealthiest nation or city. Yeah, I believe it'll be a city, right? Whatever they call it.
well, it's probably city, because
I
Qatar's
wanna
a whole
s-
country.
Right.
Yeah.
But they said Qatar, so maybe they mean specifically.
What city is it again?
It's inside of China.
Right. Yeah.
China made it. I forget exactly what it is.
I think
They made it. It's
I think it's like somewhere next to Hong Kong or something.
I can't remember
Because
exactly.
in Hong Kong,
But they like gambling.
because China gambling's illegal in China right now.
That's the thing. This is already this
Yeah.
was past tense basically.
Yeah.
So they passed Las Vegas for
Yeah.
the biggest gambling spot in the world. And when that new president got elected for China,
Yeah.
he cracked down on like 100 and I was like, no, it was 1.5 million corrupt politicians in China. And when he did that, a lot of them were with the gambling industry. So they
Yeah.
lost a lot, I guess, their type of lobbyist or something along the lines of that. And the regulations came.
Yeah, because the legal gambling definitely a big thing in China because, like I said, it's illegal there. And then they have that one spot, I believe it's on the border outside, in Hong Kong, where they have that. You're allowed to go there and gamble and shit, and pretty much go across it because it's just like it's a different part right there. It's weird that you see them turn to things like that, things that they typically don't, agree with or believe in, or would even be punished and is even illegal in their nation. And they're like, look, this is how you make the bread. We're gonna go make the fucking money. We're gonna go get this gambling. We're start getting that shit going.
That's why I feel like Trump's just never gonna make no progress on that tariff thing.
Yeah.
From what I see, because you might get them to agree on a lot of things as far as pricing and everything, but you're not gonna win that intellectual property war.
Yeah,
They're
no.
too deep into it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna reverse or end it. And if they did, it'd be like North Korea style, where they just lie.
And it's especially over the long term. So I think we're coming up on like almost about I think soon to be a year into this type of war. Maybe not. And then you have
Gotta be over 3 months.
You
I
have
know
China.
that,
You have
maybe 6.
it's single-handedly the biggest electronics manufacturer in the world. And that's all coming back on us. It's all coming back.
But it's also coming back on them because their economy right now is in recession.
Yeah.
So they did a stimulus.
Yeah.
So now they put their stimulus out into their economy.
Yeah,
and they're waiting for the results of that. That's why they said they're not going to sign nothing right now. They're going to hold out apparently.
Exactly. Like that's what China's good at. I mean, they're 100% currency manipulators. They're going to inject or pull out money in the economy as needed, to stay afloat and continue. It's like they've done it before, and I think it's someone like America
and
isn't willing to do something like that.
Right, but they're strong enough to put their will up on somebody too.
Yeah.
Right. They could go to all of them spots that they loaned that money out to and say, we need our shit back plus a loan. They could put that kind of military pressure on people unless a superpower stopped them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of countries they could push up on. I mean, really, let's think about this. Something I like to think about. Like, who really could beat right now? Who all can beat China in a war straight up?
Straight up. I mean, I think only America really. And that would be Like literally, it'd be like a bloody fucking fight, But I think America then they still wins.
As far as just one country,
yeah,
it's hard.
That's one of the only ones. I mean, like if like
the only other one you can think of is Russia, right?
Russia,
and they're way too small.
Russia's right now is bigger, but like their problem is like they have all those sanctions on them right now. That's what their problem is. Their economy's fucking, put the shit because they can't, do certain things within the international economy because of those sanctions. So right now they're on the decline because they just don't have the money. They just really don't. But like if you were to see like India and Russia come together, maybe you could beat China. That would like that's just hypothetical. I mean, like I know like they have a huge alliance in that region, but India and Russia coming together could beat China.
Chop India up.
India's top 5 militaries in the world. So
I just feel like they would chop them up.
And they have apparently they have a great naval
fastest growing economy in the world right now.
Yeah, they're overtaking China. Yeah, they're growing big. They got people, and they have they got the military.
It's weird with Russia because like in those places like that, they sacrifice so much pollution. Like when you see their rivers and stuff, man, and their air, and you're like, listen, I ain't saying America's fucking good or nothing like that.
It's the amount of people, bro.
Yeah. I'm saying that like that should be your focus, not economic development. I know you want to keep bringing in more money, but like you guys need to put some money towards trying to figure out how to fucking fix that.
I think you see India,
but you're making your money from doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I think you're gonna see India on the incline. As their economy continues to grow. Another big problem with them is they still have a lot of regions that are ungoverned, pretty much. And they still have lots of villages and lots of remote communities that just kind of hang out with no over.
I don't know a lot about them.
From my understanding, they vote. I don't think it's. I'm not sure. I don't want to speak because I'm not too sure about their type of government policies or whatever. I'm pretty sure they're a democracy where they vote. 100%. I think it's. But I think.
But it seems like just too many people.
But I don't think it's not like.
Well, a billion people voting.
But I don't think they have anything like term limits or anything. I think it's kind of like
something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's just crazy to think about that. Like you can't even have a democracy with a billion people, dog.
Yeah,
that's too many people, bro. Listen, I'm all for everybody. I'm all for everybody having a voice. It's literally, I can't. If I'm one person, I can't even listen to all your voices. In a lifetime, I couldn't listen to 1,000 people tell me what they think.
But literally, it's 1.2 billion people.
That's what I'm saying.
It's ridiculous.
A bill.
It's just like when you get up to populations that high, it's just you can't do it to everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you see America struggling with 400 million.
Do you break into sections?
I think it's an overtime thing. You just got to put the work in. You just got to put the fucking work in.
What do you mean by that?
Damn it, I didn't get out.
Buckle up your bootstraps.
Get
off the welfare.
I mean,
get out there in the workforce, boys.
You got to expand education, healthcare. You got to expand shit like that to the people. You just got to do that. I mean, again, it's 1 million people. It's so many,
people, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You get a cabinet of 20.
It's a lot of damn people.
With that many people.
And I think when you start developing for that many people, like it's like how much land will we have undeveloped at this point?
I mean, can I realistically put you all in homes?
Yeah.
Can I realistically give you all electricity?
So you just gotta focus on the big cities. It's just like that's your country.
What is the thing about that about the world? Like maybe that is like straight up like the next human ending, right?
You just wouldn't have the law enforcement, the military to even cover that much of a region and people, man.
We've pretty much proved that like we keep resetting. That people get to this point, we die off. We get to this point, we die off, but we keep bouncing back in these little herds and these little groups and shit, and we get a little farther. And now, I can't remember if we talked about this before. I feel like you might have said the opposite. But I was saying like...
No, I've always been on this track where we've been, just like over the period of time.
I feel like we've never been this far. I thought you said that you thought we had.
I thought, so I've recently, gone back on that,
okay.
It's because it's but I mean, that's just like, I think you're pushing the envelope when you get up to something like that. But I think we can say that
we've never been this far.
No, but I'm saying I think we've been at a period of like I think we've maybe hit that Egypt stage, that Rome stage before, and then been reset type of deal.
Yeah, well, that's
we've been to that
proven.
point of like cities. I don't think so.
I don't think we hit.
I don't think so. I don't think
we hit atom splitting.
We haven't pinpoint. I know.
Cloning.
Oh, that's what
gene editing.
That's what I'm saying. We've hit that Egypt civilization, that ancient Egypt civilization.
Yeah, we had a little something, but they didn't even have electronics.
No.
So that's so far away.
Yeah, exactly. But not really, because really in the grand scheme of things, it's only what 2,000 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
To me, I wasn't going by like what the years was, just the gap period. If it was 10 years, you're still like that was so far away just because of how much more I have now.
Yeah, but like if
it's like it was 10 years ago, but God,
I think it's safe to say that would you agree that people have been to that type of Egypt stage before, ancient Egypt stage? Would you say that?
Have they hit Egypt stage?
As I'm saying, that ancient Egypt stage.
For sure, I think that was a thing.
So then I think we could say that if they've hit that stage before they been wiped out or whatever may have happened to them, I think it'd be safe to say that in 1,000 or 2,000 years they would have hit the point where we've been. Because of just based off our gap ourselves.
Right, but you can't say like they're not wiping us out though. No matter what, like whatever happened to stop that, there were still people that lived on.
Exactly.
That still had that same knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. And they just didn't have what was there.
I wouldn't say necessarily the same knowledge, because I mean, like, not all the medicine men or whatever are gonna make it. There's gonna be that
right, but you got a lot more than what you were working with 16. Well, no, even 1600 style. You're right.
Exactly.
I wonder, was it like a soldier? Okay, was a soldier? Well, the average IQ of a soldier in the Civil War versus the average Egyptian IQ.
I have no idea.
What would you think?
I would have no idea.
You would think it's Civil War soldier.
Well, I mean,
right?
all IQ really is the ability to gain, your I guess for better or worse terms right now that I don't have. Rating on like your ability to learn, like your ability to process and absorb information. I mean, it's only a representation of that. It's not like, I mean, like I don't think there's people back there with like 140 IQ or like one. I think what's today's average, like something like 100 or something like that. Yeah. So I mean, it was definitely around 100, 110 IQ for us, in our learning abilities and capabilities.
I just wonder, like, how much of like the basic shit did they know? You just wish you could have been in a combo just for 2 seconds. But I mean, like, a circle.
But I mean, like, their pyramids line up with constellations. So I would assume that they have capabilities to process and learn that. So I mean, they must be pretty smart.
That's insane. But I've always been on the side of something helping there.
Yeah, I feel
it doesn't really add up to me. For it to be that, for
aliens.
it to be perfectly
ancient aliens.
Yeah, 0, bro. Like how? You know what I mean? How? That would be hard to do today. I think they said that.
Yeah,
like, that'd be hard for us to do today. To line something up on 0 axis.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild.
Remember, it's like perfectly with like the Milky Way alignment or something at a certain
something
time.
Like this. I don't know the exact. I can't remember the exact constellation.
Which is weird that lines 0, 0.
Yeah,
on our axis.
It's some wild shit. I mean, but like, okay, you got Egypt that does it, right? But no, they found it time and time again. They found ancient dated cave drawings to where they like mapped out like this constellation in the sky and like knew exactly where it was and built something like off this cave. I mean, they found it time and time again throughout civilization.
Right. Yeah. No. I'm not saying people were stupid. What I'm saying is
I'm not trying to get that.
Like there was literally less math theories out at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like over time, more math equations came out.
Yeah.
So then, like, just naturally,
ways to calculate things and whatnot.
like this, and this. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how. I don't want to talk like I know it, but like.
So when you say like,
how deep does it go?
when you say like, a period in time, I would say that humans back then had about the same IQ level as we do now, with less resources and less overall knowledge.
IQ.
Exactly.
But like compared to us, to an Egyptian, like, well, from what we know or what I know. Like an Egyptian don't know what a germ is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Like they would know,
or maybe they kind of know, but they don't know.
But they didn't have a microscope like look at it or whatever.
Like my 8-year-old nephew knows what a germ is.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just saying like that. Like I feel like you just not that you're a smarter person, but you just have way more common knowledge because we established so much more shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. Yeah, of course you could say that because I mean, like that's what happens over time. You know, you just acquire more of that common knowledge where it's like,
just
you know,
naturally.
Exactly.
But,
you know, it's
but the way you put
process.
IQ, where it's just like the ability to learn, that probably been solid.
Exactly.
Probably been about the same.
Exactly. You know, we've
time.
always had that capability to learn, and if you go back and you teach these people the stuff we know now, I think they'd be able to learn it and grasp it.
Yeah,
as you put them on the track.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like you said, they got a lot of shit that's going on. Where
They're human. They got a human brain. They have a human brain.
But like when I was saying this to you before, like I feel like nowadays, like if something was to destroy us, there would be multiple things that we leave behind that you would know, that would prove,
right?
Wow, these people were way above, something, and it goes farther than like a pyramid, right? Because a pyramid's cool and everything, but like you come and see us and we're all going, like you're gonna see some crazy shit. Well, imagine someone just imagine like someone goes to like somehow, right? Like SeaWorld's still up. And someone's just like, bro, they had fucking whales on land.
But
they brought whales in the middle of this area. And you had them in like some Coliseum type shit. Oh, fucking whale. It's like you wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't even what the fuck? You wouldn't even believe that.
You'd be like, wait, they brought whales on land.
Oh, wow. It was like, way off land. It's way off land.
They'd excavate like an ancient zoo, and they'd be like, they trapped animals here for pleasure.
Rats.
And they'd come and watch them. This is what I believe to be a cotton candy machine.
Super luxury advanced civilization.
They ate cotton sugar and watched animals.
Yeah, we're starting to understand.
Like they have wrong theories. They would watch animals fight to the death. This is where in SeaWorld, this is where they pitted man against shark.
Hell yeah, man against orca.
And they spun cotton sugar and ate it in the stands
to hype them up.
This
is a small adrenaline high.
It would just sound
fucking. Give it to the children.
It would sound crazy, It would sound completely insane.
Yeah, exactly. And then just like, let's just say like that civilization starts up again, and like satellites would eventually start falling back to Earth.
Yeah,
you're just like, who put this shit up there? And then you're like, really put your.
What the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
yeah.
I mean, satellites have crashed before, so it's like,
or like they go to like NASA's space station and like see like some cameras, of like the ISS or some shit. Like it's a wild shit. Like there would be something,
or
wow.
The
pyramids are like the best thing.
Or like even that, like let's say like they get to a point where like they can go into space. They go into space and then they find all this shit.
See all this shit.
And they're like,
we're gonna go to the moon.
Someone's been here. Someone's fucking been here. There's footprints on the moon. It's like
we like the hooks.
You got people on Earth at that time. They're just like, look, I'm telling you, we've gone to the moon before, man. Conspiracy.
In what? They don't even have rockets. They don't have cars yet. There's like, in what?
They just have those ancient stories. They're like, look, man, I'm telling you. We've had spaceships. Like
it would literally be like Idiocracy, wouldn't it? Where just like Gatorade will make the plants grow.
Like they had this one thing recently. Like it was like a Turkish carving of like it was like 9,000 years old or something, and they were trying to say like they speculated at one point that they thought it was like a spaceship or something. But I'm thinking it's like it really is like a rocket man that they carved. Over time, it just like doesn't look like that no more. But they carved a rocket man, because what they knew at the time. Yeah, and we're just like, oh no, it's a man with a hat.
just completely.
The whole time, it's a rocket man. It's like,
that's not as an art. Like I seen it like that. I think it's a Japanese billionaire bought this piece for $110 million. It's like the sixth highest thing ever sold.
Wow.
And like he had multiple pictures with this painting already, and then like he eventually had a chance to buy it for 110.5. And just looking at it, and it's just like, it's like, Crash Bandicoot, like that Booga Booga thing.
Yeah.
It's like that type of thing, but it has like a rolling complex. You know how like they do like a spiral type of thing that like goes into the picture. Yeah. And it just has a bunch of colors. And I was just like, I should have been a painter, dude.
Yes.
That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, I don't want to take away from anybody's artwork or anything like that, but like, you look at some of this shit and you're like,
yeah,
do something like that.
The best thing with art though is that like it just appreciates over time. Over time, you buy that same painting 10 years later, it's worth more just because.
It's also weird to have like another guy, right? He could also invest in art and pay for art and everything, but he sees that piece, doesn't even like it.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I don't see what you see in that.
Yeah,
because that same, I forget the artist's name. My apologies, artist. He's dead. He died of an overdose, a drug overdose, at 27 years old.
not sure.
No, of course you wouldn't. This wasn't like 87. I'm just saying it was. It's just
80,
weird.
is it Basquiat's?
I don't want to say it was Basquiat.
Yeah, because that'd be.
I didn't want to go there with
yeah.
it, but I don't believe so. But he died of a drug overdose when he was 27. So his other highest sold thing was only 55 million. So this thing doubled.
Yeah,
his previous sold, and it was just because this one guy was like whatever it cost basically.
Yeah, and no,
apparently two guys.
The interesting about that was like I think it's Vincent van Gogh. His paintings only became worth and valuable something like 200-300 years after he passed. It's actually really cool because they got a doctor. Are you familiar with Doctor Who?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So in one of the episodes, he uses his time machine to bring Vincent van Gogh to modern day, and they take him to like the Louvre. I'm probably gonna fuck that up. The world's most famous art museum in France. They take him there to like the Vincent van Gogh section, and they have one of the proprietors there talk about him in front of Vincent van Gogh, and he just like kind of like breaks down and like looks at everyone looking at all of his art and shit. It's a really cool episode, but like sometimes over time, like you're not that valuable when you're there, and then like sometime later your shit just blows up.
And ended up going for high amounts, 3-4 years.
Well, Vincent van Gogh's art's like considered some of the most valuable art, and one of the most popular arts. Yeah, 100%. I think he's the one that did like Starry Night and shit. Yeah. So
I was seeing this thing about Leonardo da Vinci, and like he had this thing with his. To me, the way it was described was like when you're on psychedelics. I feel like the way they were describing it was like Leonardo da Vinci constantly seen like when he was on mushrooms, because they were saying like I forget exactly what it is, but it's like some type of like legit thing he had going on, where like he like the basic shit. The best way I can remember it is like the basic shit in something he didn't even see. He seen like angles in things when he looked at things. Like there was something like he remembered things in triangle. I don't know if you ever seen before, but like mathematicians, they did things like this before, where like the way they do math is they put triangles on top. Have you ever seen something like that?
No.
So like they do it in like a triangle. Maybe they do other shapes too, but like what I know is like they do it in a triangle, and somehow in their mind, this is what makes them a math genius. Like that triangle, the mass of it represents a certain number. So maybe it's 1 billion, 1 million, right? And then, so they can take like 10% of that, right? So let's say it represents 1 billion, and you're doing 1 billion times 1 million, right? They could take 10% of that, 10 billion. So now they got 1 billion. And they can put that on top of another triangle in their mind of millions, basically, and do 10% of that. And then just add, That's hard for me to explain, honestly, right?
I get what you're
saying. But like
basically,
they can take a fraction of a large number and put it with another fraction of a large number in their head by percentages, and not even use the number, and then that's how they come to a number. So they were saying like that is how like Da Vinci seen, and that's why like in the Mona Lisa, the eyes follow you. Apparently, a lot of his artwork is like that because that's how his mind worked. Is like it was like along that holographic type of aspect. It's crazy. It was crazy.
It's weird.
It's hard for me to obviously explain what I don't know, but
I mean, to me that just sounds completely fucking insane. It's just like I'm getting caught up on the triangles. Just like
the triangles is crazy. I heard that one from a little kid doc I watched. It wasn't really a doc. It was like a short clip on this kid who was a math genius. And you never seen him? He's like 21. Not 21.
There's a thing to triangles.
There's a kid that's like 9 years. I know you've seen the video before. He's a famous kid.
I probably have.
He's like 9 years old. He was in college.
Okay.
He was doing college and shit like that. He has a form of Asperger's.
Okay.
And
he uses the triangle method.
He uses the triangle method.
That's like, this is so weird. It's like
I watch so many videos. I don't want to send them all to you. You know, but it's like I wish
do whatever you want, bro. Send them.
I wish I would have sent that one to you so you could have seen. But like, I'll find it again, and that's like how he explained that he would do his math, which I just thought was absolutely mind blowing. And that's like they didn't correlate that kid with Leonardo da Vinci. Like that's how I pictured like they were trying to say that he's seen.
Yeah, I'm just getting caught up on the triangle thing. It's just a weird like. It's just weird how like every once in a while mine's born and it just works different.
Yeah,
it just works different.
It's weird because like let's say it is 10% we use. Like, what if that kid was just using 11?
I believe that's completely bullshit, bro.
Let's just say.
Well, 10%. That's not real though.
Let's just say you're using whatever number. What is it? What do you want to use?
100.
You think you use 100% of your brain?
It's proven that you use 100% of your brain.
See, I don't believe that.
You know?
I don't believe that. I think when I think about things but there is like. We have established that there's like levels of consciousness, right? You believe that?
Yeah, levels of consciousness. So you think
you can like
you're not using those levels of consciousness?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like just like a DMT type of experience, right? Like that's just activating what's in your body, also, right? I think you have DMT inside of your body.
Well, I think you just become aware of that. It's always there. It's always working in the background, but now you're aware of it.
Why are you right-handed? If you use 100% of your brain, why are you right-handed? Like that, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's not a good argument, but that's how I picture it. I'm like, if I used 100% of my brain, I feel like both hands would be perfect, right? Like that, and then like everything.
That's
like
not the case. Right? That's different from muscle memory, where it's like a hand has to be trained to move that way. Like I mean, I'm not.
What is it that makes people naturally choose a hand then?
I don't know that. I don't know this. I don't know that. You know, but I mean, like, it's. What I would think it would be was like something either like, you know, wired with your brain where it's just like it's just kind of like an evolution thing. We've always kind of like used the right hand, but then you always get that person who has that mutation. I'm not even gonna use that, and that's not nothing bad, but you have a mutation, you're just left-handed because people are majorly in the world right-handed.
But then you have people that use both.
Ambidextrous, exactly.
And they're clearly have an advantage.
And they actually have trouble driving. They have trouble driving. It's not completely an advantage because like
drive one-handed.
Just because you hold both hands, like it's like the jack of all trades thing. It's like, you know, neither of them are the full dexterity of like a person who's right-handed. Their right hand is not as strong.
You believe that? You think
that's what
neither one?
They have
neither one are as good as this person that uses one all the time.
One hand dominantly, you know. That's what I'm saying.
I never heard.
It's like they have huge problem driving because they always try and use both feet. They have a huge problem with that. You know, that's one of those things.
I just picture like squaring up. Right? I just think it's advantage, right? You're just like you feel just as good with that left as you do your right.
Oh yeah.
You're just like switching stances on a motherfucker out front of the bar.
But it's like you could always train that hand. So that's where it comes down to like kind of like muscle memory type of thing, you know.
Like that's the thing though. Can you train it to be as good as your natural hand that you grew up using?
Yeah, probably not, but I mean, like, you know, you can work it and get there.
And obviously, that wasn't the full argument, but like that's just one thing of how I go. Like, I think there's some type of gap. Maybe it's not 10%. You know, obviously, that's always been weird, like low number. I mean, but to say 100,
the brain's an organ that's, you know, I mean, it's 100% active with everything that it controls, senses, and you know, feels and whatnot. Every part of the brain's active at any given time.
That's not, well, that would be, of course, true, right? Because you're using your brain. But I also believe that might not be true, not even on my argument. But I thought there was parts of your brain you can shut down. Like you can suppress a memory, right?
Yeah, but the thing working for that, it's still acting it's still active. It's not, suppressing isn't turning anything off. You know, I don't think there's one thing that's ever off in your brain. You know, I think it's always firing off.
Like you're saying,
there's electricity flying through every part of the brain.
Unless you have something a mutation, you know? Because like Einstein, you know, he was missing a part of his brain that took away speech, and that allowed the part of like I guess thought, you know, to grow larger.
Wasn't he?
And that's why they believe that.
But I think he also had what people call now is Asperger's,
and that's probably what that is. That's probably because he didn't talk to. He was like 4.
Yeah, so something like that. It's like the brain is capable, in some cases, to be able to fire off and process things faster. It's not necessarily that their brain. It's just their brain processes faster. It's like overclocked.
So what you're saying is just like you're using the whole thing, which I agree with.
Yeah,
but I think that we're farther than we ever been as far as this fucking technology we got right here.
Yeah.
But I think we're not as far as we ever been consciously. So I think that there's definitely different levels of brain activity that you can use. And I mean, I think you see that and just from breathing exercises, meditation, things like that. There's a certain state that you can take your brain to. Certain people can do things with their brain without a mutation that just that certain people can't. To me, I wouldn't believe it. I just think that everyone has something that they're not using better. It'd just be that next level of self-conscious, right?
I think it just comes down to a level of self-awareness, and being aware of that particular thought process. It's like you ever had a moment when like your like perspective on something kind of like shift, and you're just like, huh, or like you've learned something and been like, oh, that's how it works. Okay, that type of feeling. It's
right.
Like,
but you've talked to people that you can't do that to too. That are just like, nah.
Well, I mean, it all comes down. I think it all comes down to what you really believe. If you're not one that believes that you can access and become aware of another set of consciousness, then you probably won't. I mean,
so that's what I'm saying. Let's just say
that's what it is. Become aware of it.
Is that person using 100? Even is that person using 100?
I think it's the brain's. It's focused on something else, but it's always in the background.
You're using like level 1, 100. I'll give you that. But you're not using level 2, nothing. You're using like level 230. And level 3, you never even sniffed it.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Bro, but that one time, bro, on the mushies. Bro. We were laying on that patio. Like, I'm telling you, bro. There's something that you can definitely, like, enhance something, dog. Where it's a weird type of thing you can tap into.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like it's like a... It's like 100% complete control of all senses at once. And when you do that, it like hurts your human body. And I kept saying that to you. It's like you can't stay there. Like the human body cannot stay in 100% form. I believe that after that trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's like why do you feel so tired? I think it's a very energy consuming thing that it's like your body couldn't keep up that level of brain activity over that period of time.
Like, doesn't it seem like the weakest thing ever is sleep? Like, it's like so weak.
Yeah, you just gotta sleep.
You're so vulnerable. Yeah. You're gonna be the biggest badass ever. Like, you better not be going to war with an insomniac. Because if this goes till someone dies, they're gonna outlast you and smash your head in. 48 hours in.
Yeah. Sleep, man, just you having to be able to just like, I don't know, man,
shut down.
Yeah, and just like your body recoups, like your body cools down.
It's in its best healing process.
Exactly. Your muscles, what you've learned that day also gets like, I don't know, like downloaded or whatever. It gets like really imprinted. Like, it's like, people who have sleep deprivation have like a real hard time learning, and being able to process things. So it's like when you get that good sleep, it's just good for you all around. Your muscle memory, everything with your brain.
You're creating a simulated reality in your head.
Yeah, with REM sleep. just dreaming out this bitch. Just dreaming.
That's the weirdest thing that like we were given is dreams.
Yeah, and
it's so weird.
And it's something we still don't even know.
We don't understand. Dreams
it's like what the fuck. I wish Nebby would have really came out, studied dreams
right?
and did a dream book.
Like got on that other side.
That'd been good. But like, he was also someone who like said he had like I imagine something like Charlie's book. It's just like drama, but it's like
spaghetti noodle bag.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Rockwood braces. Yeah, I mean, we've done like people have like tried to study into it. When I was getting to it before, I lost it. But Ned was someone that like he said he had lucid dreaming every night. And that he was pretty much all the time just mentally exhausted because his brain just was not chilling the fuck out when you're sleeping, man.
That's the weird thing about lucid dreaming. I always think like if I lucid dreamed every night, I think I'm just trying to go to sleep when I was lucid dreaming. Did he ever try that?
It's so weird. He never talk about it because like for me, like I go to sleep. I don't remember my dreams when I wake up. I would say at least 95% of the time. Just like I can't remember the last time. I probably dreamed like 2 weeks ago, but I can't remember the last time before that, or like
Yeah, no,
And
yeah.
I don't have a lot. I
Well,
mean,
that's
of
the
course,
thing.
you always dream, but I just don't remember them at all.
Well, that's marijuana,
I'm out.
bro.
I'm out.
Marijuana suppresses pretty much all that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But even before that, I've never had dreams like that.
Me too. But even when I did, it was like I told you, I used to always have bad dreams, bro. I never had good dreams, though.
I've had good ones every once in a while.
I used to hate it. Yeah, I've had good ones. I've had a good one. Like I remember one time I was able to control it, try to clap some shorty. You
ever have a wet dream? You ever have that?
I had like one wet.
I've had one in my life. Yeah, it's just that's weird,
bro.
That's weird.
It's like we know a guy, bro, who was telling me that like there was a point where it was happening almost every night.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I never knew it.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, is that good for you in your sleep? Because orgasming regularly is good for you.
Yeah, but that's
not
fun.
Is doing it while you're sleeping good for you?
Technically, if you're lucid dreaming,
I think I'd wake up with a clearer mind. I'm just like, you have that post-nut clarity.
If you lucid dream.
You get a little more blood pumping in the morning when you wake up.
But let's just say you woke up and you don't remember the dream. You would feel raped. You know what I mean? You're just like, what happened? Who sucked me off?
What's my course of action right here? It's like,
that jerk off in the middle of the night.
I'm a dream and get a rape kit. It's like going back to sleep. I'm finishing this. I'm gonna pursue this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Who the fuck gave me a handy in my sleep? Of course, nobody's dreaming about a fucking handy.
No, I'm not. It's just a funny thing that's going on with that. I always like when Nebby used to say that. I used to always think like, there's probably a lot of answers in there, right? Because like if you're lucid dreaming, like you can say shit and ask shit. I used to always tell him to ask things.
Yeah.
Like ask things that we don't have the answers to.
Yeah.
You know, like just go up to him.
He never was clear on what.
He never was clear at that.
One thing he always told me that flipped me out. He was like, yeah, man, like sometimes I like appear in like what he called his library. And in his dreams, he would appear in his library. He would look in a book, and there would just be nothing in it. You know, it's like you just look at any book. There's just nothing there. Like, so whenever like he would look at like people's faces, like everyone, like other people would just start staring at him and shit. Like it was just like I don't know. It's just weird.
That's some scary shit.
So like whenever he told me shit like that, like, and I thought about Inception, I was like, there's a little merit to that possibly.
Yeah,
where it's like,
for sure. You didn't think there was no merit to Inception?
Like what is that though? Is that like your consciousness just being like, no?
Well, I think it's
that's
like,
scary.
It's like the thing of like what they say, right? Where it's like the people you created in your brain, right? Like you're the subconscious people that are just walking around. You could talk to, like I could talk to you in a dream, right? I can recreate you in a dream. But like the people that are just walking around, they say that's always like a face that you've seen, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, they say it's like you can't make up a face.
You can't make up a face, right? Exactly.
So always be one you've seen.
Right. Know? So it has to be someone you've seen.
But it's not necessarily one you're familiar with either.
Right. Exactly. It could literally be any face you ever see.
Exactly.
Your brain just programmed it, and that's what it is. You can't make up a face. That's just weird, ain't it?
Yeah. Just like you can't make up the information in a book. You know?
I don't think they necessarily mean like you couldn't make up a face, but I think they mean like if you make it up, there's a face for it. Right.
Okay. No.
You get what I'm saying?
If you make it up, there's not
a face I can
It's crossed your eyes, your brain at some point.
Yeah, exactly. You can find some correlation with it, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
if it is a made up face,
someone still looks like that.
It's probably or it's based off probably like some type of drawing in your head or like some type of image exactly in your head.
Yeah, that I barely got.
Or you just didn't even get a good look at.
Right.
And then you just start changing the way you're looking at it. Exactly. Dreams are just weird, like just like the faces you can't make up information in a book. Like if you wrote something down in your dream, it's not gonna be there. Like that's one thing he always told me too, But yeah, I don't know, man.
But like he never answered questions. Yeah, it's like I was like, just go up to someone.
He told me about one where like he found himself or something, and he was trying to ask him some shit, and then himself just started choking him out. Just like no.
So you never knew with him. It's like,
that's also true.
We don't know why we lost him. I always called him an exaggerator. That's what I feel like. It's like he really sell you a story too. I think that came from just he really.
But also as far as like I remember in my childhood, he was always just being that person that like he was like talking fast and is like always over exaggerated everything, a bunch of shit, That's
He
what
would just say
he was.
it got a reaction.
He's
He
like,
goes,
"Ah."
if not, he's already saying someone else.
So fast. Well, I mean, 100% of the power. Definitely use it. I don't know, man. It's just like.
But what I'm saying is, like, inside of there, right? Like, you're not providing the answers. You are providing the answers, right? But you're not providing the answers.
Like, what do you mean on that?
Like you can ask somebody something, and you don't know. You're in the dream. You don't know
exactly
that person's answering because you're telling them to answer this.
Exactly. Like,
which is, I don't know. I would think it is your brain doing that, right?
I mean, like it would be the only thing that makes sense because it's like because
or is it like just a random generator? It's like you just got these words and then like your thought just puts something out there.
I think it's all a product of your brain, and I don't think at any point dreams are ever like interconnected. Like there's never. I don't think dreams are like a conscious link to other people or some type of like different plane.
What I'm saying is like I always picture you go in there and you ask like that math equation you ain't been able to solve. To somebody random, right? Not you, somebody.
And it would just like be that'd be you, exactly.
It would be you answering it, right?
Exactly.
So then, like, what could that person say? Like, could that person tell you something you don't know? You know what I mean? Because if I'm generating this person off of just I seen them one time somewhere, I may have seen that one time somewhere. And that person knows it because I seen it when I was 5 years old and I was skimming through a fucking math book, you know.
Bro, this is like this is how every religion began right here. They're just like, y'all seen this shit, bro. In my sleep, he came to me. He fucking came to me, bro. I'm telling you. And you just
but what they were saying is like, you know, a dream within a dream, right?
Inception?
Yeah.
They kept. And they said it was like levels of conscious as well.
Which makes sense to me. It seems like I believe there is levels of consciousness, right? So
that
like
could be accessible in your dream.
That could still be playing. They're still going on. You're just not tapped into that. You're on the third floor.
Yeah.
That's in the fifth floor. It's still happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? It's still happening. You're just not down there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier with the 100% brain thing, where it's just like.
So then you drop down, you're just like.
Exactly. You got to be aware of that floor, you know? And then that's how you get to that floor. I mean, otherwise, how you gotta figure out how to get to that floor and get to that floor before you even know it's a thing.
But does anyone know what the bottom floor is?
It's like I don't think so. You know, because it's like
a bottomless pit.
I think there's eventually a limit. I mean, come on now, bro. To say this is like infinite, that's insane. Your brain's infinite. Like, I mean, like, you know.
But it kind of makes me good. I know. I get you.
I feel like you hit a basement.
See, it makes me think like I'm more along the lines of like I think that these dreams are like that's not like a personal type of thing. Like I think that like I'm gonna go spiritually here, witchcraft style, right?
And I'm about to shit on it.
It's like it's like one like connection, like Earth, right?
Yeah,
is taking in all of these dreams.
Yeah,
and it's like pushing it out into the universe.
Okay,
and then Mars is doing this, and then Venus is doing this, and then the next galaxy is doing this.
Yeah,
and all of this is just kind of in sync with one person. It's like that being.
You're talking God, bro.
Like God. I said, I believe God. I believe God is us. I really, that's the best way.
So that would be a God.
That would be God.
Okay.
Basically, remember we were on the mushies, and we were like, "Why can you tap into this mode, right?" And then you're like, "Why?" And then we're like, "Why is there so much? Why is there so much of this all over the earth?" And then so you're thinking like, "Well, you don't want to be naive and say if there was another spot where life exists, they wouldn't have something of these sorts, right?
Right.
And if they took it, they could have that same type of effect, right? And then like the way you feel is like both of you are kind of having that same effect in different galaxies. Some type of like
interconnection.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interconnection. Yeah, to say, what I was saying is just like, no, I mean, it's just not something I could sit here and be like, oh, this is why it's not that. I just don't believe in something like that, where it's like, that dreams are at least that pathway, There may be some interconnection out there. I would love to believe instead of interconnectedness, but I don't think dreams is it. I think it's just the interaction of life is what would make the. I don't know, man. It's just don't know.
So do you believe in an interconnection?
Oh no.
You would say there's no interconnection.
No, yeah. I think there's particular there's particular ones like when it comes to like mothers to their babies, like there's particular.
But no
like,
planet to planet shit.
No, I don't think so.
I hope before we die, someone shows up just with some shit.
I just think it's straight up chaos in space, and if people happen to circumvent that with technology or science or whatever, then that's it. I don't think there's any.
Do you not believe in like an all spiritual being somewhere out there? Like a planet of all spiritual beings?
See, and then I'll sit there and just be like, well, no. I think.
Do you not believe in a soul?
I think there's different levels to consciousness. I mean,
do you believe people have a soul?
Again, I don't think so, bro. I don't think there's like a.
You don't think people have a soul, Steve?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. It's just like because what really is a soul? What really is a soul?
To me, it's the essence of you. That's the best way I can put it, right? Because no matter what, like you were gonna look like this, and you were gonna form from this environment, right?
Right.
But you still have that deep down, even if it's that 0.01 of just this is you. Right? Nobody can ever take that away. That doesn't come from ego. That don't come from comparison or emulating or teachings or nothing. This is just pureness. Even if it's the smallest bit. To me, that's the soul. Best way I can put it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess a soul would come under like different definitions or meanings or however I may understand the soul, but like. Me, I'm thinking like not necessarily something like yes, that essence isn't there, but like the idea of a soul, I think is just like a romantic idea. Like I don't think it's an actual thing that exists. It's kind of like what we've categorized or how we've perceived or how we've added words to it. I don't think that's what a soul is. I think everyone has that. Everyone has that.
Okay,
that's what a soul is.
Okay, but we can agree. We can agree. First of all, I wish you wouldn't have gave Tyler so much shit about the simulation thing. Because if I don't have a soul, then I feel the same way about if it's a simulation.
Well, see, like I didn't give him shit. All I said was that would suck.
Okay, well that's I mean that's what we both said. But yeah.
I just don't want that.
But okay, well same thing. I'll say the same thing to you with that. That would suck to me, right? Because I don't want to just imagine that like.
But why? Because that essence is there.
Well, what I want to get to is like it's a personalized essence, though, right? And it doesn't mean that like this same thing happens to the next one because this life changes that soul, right? And that soul, it's not a soul as in this fucking being that got a checklist and it's doing these different things in my mind. It's just a ball of energy, right? Because you just have energy in the universe, right? I mean, this is Einstein, right? That you can't destroy energy, right? So there's something that's powering your body, no matter how you want to look at it. You can say it's like your organs and everything, but there's something that's powering your body. You take up a mass in the universe, just being you, just walking, a human, right? So when that's eliminated, well, you can't destroy mass, right? So, at the same time, that
can be converted into something else. So it's like
to me, though, it can, but that's still the same energy, Steve. That's still the same.
So,
energy.
like when you cremate a body, it's like that's the energy transference in the world. You know what I mean? Like it burned. I mean, like your essence burned, and it was transferred into like nothing else.
Right. And I see that. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. But you're just going so solely like as far as how they look at it.
Yeah.
But let's just look at it like, okay, it got burnt. It's still just that same energy, though. The energy never changed. The mass in the universe never changed. It's just transforming to something else. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then that becomes something else.
Yeah.
So like, I think that
energy
that right
soul.
there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Has a personalization to it, right? Of like experience after experience, it slowly morphs to something, but it's nothing, right? I'm not even talking about it morphing into nothing because it's not even nothing. It's not even something, but it's just like the energy constantly shifting over and over and over, and that being the soul.
Yeah,
but not that. Robin Williams or a genie's inside of your body, and then it's going to float to something else. And
I got you.
In that essence.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Like I said, it falls on a different definition. In other words,
exactly.
I don't think there's that, but there's not this spiritual ball of energy on some third dimensional astral plane or whatever.
Your body.
Well, I mean, there's energy inside your body.
But there's nothing that weighs energy, though. right? Because when they weigh a human body, there's like, you ever seen it's like 0.03 or something that's missing that they can't account for.
I don't know how true that is, bro.
I believe that's true, bro.
You know?
I believe that's true. It might not be 0.03, but it might be the smallest number you can imagine. But there's a small amount of weight that I believe they can't account for. And to me, that's the energy that's powering the body right there, that's missing.
I kind of just want to look this up, just like.
For all I know, it could be in your heart and it could weigh something. I just like to think like maybe that's a thought of maybe that's a possibility.
So it falls. So here we go. So it falls under what they call the 21 grams theory. I'm getting to it. So it's a guy published an article in 1907 where he did the weight experiment. Let me see if it's actually. They take the whole goddamn paper here.
Well, I don't know, but I will say that no matter what, it's not just blood, organs, brain. There's something in there with the juice inside of there.
It might not be.
That's pushing the body.
Yeah,
just my belief. I'm just saying my belief.
Might not be, Just might not be. I don't know, man.
I hate to think
it's
that. Bro, just destroy the universe.
That's my thing. Like, I love to come on here and talk about like everything that I like. Like I would love to believe that. I love to believe that. I believe to a certain extent, but like I also have some doubt into like just because like it's not something I don't think you could ever prove. I don't think you will ever come up with a soul detector or like will ever figure out what that is. You know. But I think if you find that out, then you find out what life after death is. I think you figure that part out, or it leads you in that direction. What happens after life. I would say it's
along that line of psychedelics. I don't want to keep playing that card, but it's like I think if you're gonna find it anywhere, it's there.
Like I was always like a person who believed in like reincarnation almost, but like then again, it's just not something that like you can sit there and be like, oh, we proved reincarnation. I don't think you can prove anything like
right. But what we're saying is basically reincarnation. It's just not the reincarnation that they speak of, where you can become a boat or a horse or some shit. Like the fact that it's just energy going into something else, whatever it is. It's just energy. Maybe it's not even that whole 100% again. Maybe 1% breaks down and it goes into 100 other 100%. It could be the smallest fragment of that breaking off into another bit of energy, and just over and over.
Right. Kind of like cells just dividing.
All I know is that the middle of the universe is a fucking black hole, right? So until you go in that bitch, I don't want to hear shit. That's just black holes are so weird, dude. And it's like it's like sometimes just like you think I'm talking to people, I just see people. I think about people shooting each other. I'm just like, that we have these things.
These super giant massive black holes
sucking us in. They're slowly sucking us in, bro. I know it's a long time out.
Yeah, no.
But it's just the fact that, like, wow.
They say that, some people theorize that, like, the expansion of the universe is moving onwards to at the end of that is a black hole, possibly. That's why, like, everything's stretching in time and whatnot's over. It's just like, it might just be a huge ass black hole, whatever,
That's why I've always said, like, selfishly, I hope that, like, if I am gonna die, I hope like it's like the mass extinction,
right?
Kind of want to see what
I want to see the chaos before
I
go.
want to see what it is. Don't really care what it is.
I
wouldn't want something brutal like famine.
Exactly.
But like comet, even ice age. Well, ice age kind of goes with famine, but let's go like comet mainly, or solar flare.
Nuclear warfare? No.
Nuclear warfare, whatever, as long as we're guaranteed all die.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to live.
You ever hear about that shit? Like that's what like submarines really are there for. They're undetectable. A lot of them are nuclear, and they would survive a nuclear blast on like a country, So like because they're so far underwater and whatnot, and so far away from a blast could probably never even hit them on their own country. So like it almost guarantees if you launch a nuke, you're getting nuked back by a fucking submarine that you can't even detect. Like,
what about if they drop a nuke in the water?
Well, it had to still be close enough to you. You had to be in proximity as a submarine, which they can't detect.
Well, what's the bang range on a nuke?
I think
I know, like somewhere on the coast, I dropped 4 on your coast.
Yeah, but like if I'm around in your waters, like outside of Russia, where you just launch them by chance,
right? Well, I'm trying to pop off my fad down.
So and you just bang up a coast, you know, they're still gonna survive. They're like a nuke
How long
hit
can
on
they
the
stay
coast
down there?
would not even reach half, even a quarter outside of the ocean.
I wonder like how long they can stay down there. You know, like do they need
I
like
think-
power?
From what I understand, they're nuclear powered.
No,
they have
do
nuclear
they
subs.
need power though? Period.
What do you
Like
mean?
can a sub just sink itself and then go back up later
Yeah, they
with nothing? You get what I'm saying? Like
do you
no
mean with
energy, like
nothing?
without it being on. Like
No, I think
just,
I think it needs to be powered.
it has to be on.
It
Engine
has
has
to
to
be
be
powered.
right.
Exactly. They have to be able because like
They have to push
it's,
down or
it's
some
certain
shit.
pressurizers that like
Or push
release
up.
and like are able to make it allow them to sink and whatnot. You know, it's like
Right, because they float.
yeah, I mean,
That's
like,
the weird thing. They can
yeah,
float.
Yeah.
God, bro, we're amazing, bro.
So yeah, so like
they float and they sink.
Yeah.
And it's just wow.
from what I
Submarines,
understand, like the way the U.S. submarines work is they have these submarines go on tours of 3 months, where you're in the submarine out somewhere in the world for 3 months.
So you got food for 3 months.
Exactly, yeah. That's one thing they said. Like in the beginning, the meals are really good because everything's fresh. And as time goes on, it's more frozen, more processed shit. But like they do that because like it's a really good morale booster to where it's like in the beginning it's really good. Then when the food starts getting bad, you're like, all right, well we're gonna resupply soon. It's it's almost over type of deal. Because I'm sure that shit's tough.
Yeah, I would want. I want good food every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I could not be. I mean, I would if I got the chance.
That'd be cool as fuck. But I mean, like,
be awesome. But like,
I probably would do it one time and be like, that shit sucks,
bro. If you just hear that one creak, right? It's like, I couldn't even put my hand on the metal, bro.
I'm not one that's like claustrophobic necessarily, but I might get claustrophobic and that type of thing, because I've seen their bunks. I've seen like.
Have you ever been in a really tight spot? I feel like everybody's claustrophobic.
Not for a long period of time, though. Not for a long period of time.
Climb through something that's really small.
I have,
for
but
a
like
long time.
No, I like maybe spent like 30, 45 minutes in there, but like I haven't spent days in somewhere like that.
30 minutes, man. That's pretty good. You know how it feels when you just can't move shit.
Exactly.
That sucks, bro. No one likes that.
I don't like it, so like I've always avoided it. I did it a couple of times, but like I don't like this. I'm gonna stop doing this.
Pretty wide. Now.
Yeah,
they're probably pretty nice.
Because
but like
I've always been a heavier dude, so it's like I've always been like all right. When there are people when you're feeling tight, it's like I'm back there probably like 10 feet, like hey guys, this is getting a little sketchy.
This reminds me of like that Dan Carlin on the USS Annapolis. Have you ever hear about that story?
I might have, but
it's like basically like one of like the most brutal like shit that anybody went through. There's a lot of shit that they went through that I can't remember everything, can't go over it all.
Okay.
But basically they get fucking hit by a sub in the middle of the fucking night. They get hit by a missile. I think it was a sub that got them.
Okay.
And right away, just shit's leaking, dog. And the captain, like, basically right off the jump, got to make the decision to close off shit, or everybody's going down, basically. And so they already got people, like, screaming and shit, bro. Well, I think it ends up getting hit again, or eventually it becomes too much.
Right.
They realize it's fucking sinking. And this is when I learned that you can't be next to that thing when it sinks. I always thought that like it would pull you down, but you'd be okay. You can get pulled down hundreds of feet.
Yeah.
People got pulled down so
before they
far
get filled up with air.
that their
water.
That their eardrums popped.
Yeah.
Just like off the jump, just boom. Like their eardrums pop permanently, And so this thing fucking sinks and then basically and they're out there forever in the water. And
slowly dying.
Exactly. They're all just like on these little pieces of shit, whatever they can do. And there's just so many injuries. There's oil in the water and the oil's on fire, bro. So they're all just
scary.
Burning, dog.
I think by that point, like your eardrums are shattering. You're that deep in the ocean.
One guy had his eyes burnt out, dog. His eyes are just
He survived?
out. The craziest thing is he's one of them guys like that lone survivor story I told you where the guy who lost his face, they survive for a long time, but they end up dying because it's just too much.
Right.
But like that guy, there's stories of him talking to people when they were getting rescued. The guy, there's so many, the whole part of like what they went through is they had to keep sacrificing basically. Like they had to immediately shut down those compartments where they heard their friends.
Yeah.
Like, don't do this. We need help. We need help.
We're right here. Let us in.
Yeah, can't do it. They're killing them basically. All these people are injured, so they're just leaving whoever they believe they can't help. They're
Right.
basically leaving and just mass death. There's a lot that goes into it. You should listen to it on the Dan Carlin. It's like an hour one too, so it's not that long.
Yeah, me too.
And basically, they're out there for mad long. They're getting burnt up. Sharks are eating them. People are going delusional. They're in the water for hella fucking long. There ends up being survivors and shit, but that's funny. That captain, man, he ended up killing himself. Like 18 years later, he ended up killing himself.
Because of all the decisions he had the weight of.
They said like for the 18 years he was just a wreck, just basically all the decisions. Because like he's like, I can't remember exactly every single thing that happened in chronological order, so I didn't want to say it. But there was an order of things that just he kept having to make decisions of killing people, basically.
You'll never know if you made the right ones.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
and it's like they said, there's like in their sleep, basically, they got cracked with a fucking underwater missile, Steve.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck, bro?
Torpedo, bro.
It's crazy how like accustomed you get to that shit, right?
Yeah.
And when you really think about it, you're like, we shoot missiles underwater.
I'm thinking about submarines. I'm like, all right.
Imagine a kick.
I'm like, you got a big. I'm like,
Is a submarine go like this?
I've been thinking. I'm like, how can you find a submarine? I'm like, it has to be pretty easy. They're pretty big and loud, right? But I'm like, in a massive ocean, and you really have nothing to look in the water with. It's just like,
and you're really going single right there, right? Because like, let's say you do find them, and they're in a group of 8. You got 8 submarines to deal with. Unless you're submarines, you got a hard time dealing with that.
Exactly.
Right? I want to know about some submarine battles. I've never really heard about them.
I mean, I think that's one thing that made the Germans so formidable early on was their use.
Some of those bombs. They got them bombs still down the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
For the submarines, you've seen them like in the Call of Duty games. Those are real. Where it's like they're at the bottom of the ocean, they come up on the chain, and you can't hit them when they blow up.
Oh, those mines!
Yeah, those are underwater submarine mines.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Right,
and they're still out there. They blow up randomly.
Yeah,
there's not like
I mean, they still. I think there's like an estimated still to be like thousands of pounds of like explosives scattered throughout Europe randomly from World War II. Still,
it's so wild.
Like they had one blow up. It was like a random bomb blow up in the middle of like a remote German town.
What about that Chinese factory that blew up? Wasn't it Chinese?
Was that the fireworks factory?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
23 people killed.
It's like, oh, crazy video, bro.
God, what the fuck, bro? Oh my God, I was looking at this other thing of this actually happened 2 years ago, but just the other day, the people that created the ride, the charges got dropped on them, right? So
what ride?
In Kansas City. These two guys try to create the biggest fucking water slide, dog. 167 feet, I believe it was. Something like that.
Fuck you.
So, dog, they're testing this thing. Like, there's a dock on it. They're testing this thing with like sandbags and shit. It's flying off. It's fucking flying off, Steve. Off the thing, bro. It's a straight drop, then it goes up, and there's another long drop like that.
It just leaves every time.
And it's when it goes to that jump, it's flying off.
Right.
So, in Kansas, it's something about these southern states. I hate to say it to people, right? And I don't even know if it's southern. I just think Kansas is.
Balls.
But they don't have regulation, dude. They don't have regulation. So, in Kansas, no one has to inspect the ride. The state doesn't have to inspect the ride.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, and you also don't need to get a permit for the ride.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's in 2017. You hope it's changed by now.
Okay.
But, so... They do the test videos, bro. They do the video. No one else would ride this thing, so they had to test it themselves when they finally thought they had it figured out. So, like, they're straight up on video, like, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make it or what. So they do it, and it ends up working, right? So it gets pushed back after that, like, 5-6 times. They're like, because shit keeps going wrong. It's like it worked that time, but it
at this point, you just got to scrap it.
You're thinking, right? So they put a cage over the entire top of it because people just fly it, basically. So then they hire. It's just so I just learned this last night. It's why it's fresh. So they hire their personal like engineering corps, basically, and the engineering corps is like, this thing's dangerous. They're like over 90% of the time. Passengers are going to get ejected. That can result in injury or death. They straight up get rid of it, bro. They keep working on the thing. They push it back a couple more times, and they open it. First day, it's all good. Second day, I believe it's the second day. Second day. I want to say it was the first day, but it's like one of the first days, basically. Just so happened to be, bro, they're doing a government gets in free day, right? So a Kansas state representative goes there with his 10-year-old son who gets on it. He goes flying and gets decapitated, bro.
On the fucking cage, right?
The cage that they put over top, bro. And those people got the charges dropped. No charges. That happened recently.
Oh wow, man.
Well, this happened in 2017. He got decapitated. The charges just got dropped.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Okay, got you. Huh. I wonder if that guy put this legislation to change that.
It's insane, bro. And the thing is, they already had reported injuries on it and shit like that. They suppressed all the info.
It's just so weird. It's like you think you'd be able to so easily prove negligence, but like, I guess you wouldn't be able to. You know.
Well, the thing is, I mean, when you're not regulated, you could just be like, I fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're like, look, it works. We went down it. We got on video. We went down it. It didn't kill us.
Right.
And we put this cage over top. You know, the government doesn't come to check it out. The state didn't come approve it. That's not a law.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you really charge them with?
The only thing you really do is probably sue them.
It's basically you're riding these at your own will.
Probably sue them. That's about it.
How? You're riding this at your own will. The law's the law. I didn't have to get it checked. I didn't do nothing sketchy.
Yeah, but I think it's still sue them though.
Maybe because of like the previous injury they try to hide, or like the engineer core thing.
That and the death, because it's not law, I can't charge you with something, but I can still probably sue you for death. And then they would most likely probably even settle, not even go to court. You know, so
which is horrific, bro. I got a true fucking story that you would not believe.
Hit me with it.
I swear to God.
Yeah, I probably won't believe it. I'm telling you right now.
Me, my sister, nephew's dad.
Definitely bullshit.
My dad. We fucking go to Six Flags, bro. And that's crazy thing about that. It's like, don't have a lot of these, you know? But we go there.
Thinking near death.
And we're about to get on the fucking drop at Six Flags. This is a true fucking story, bro. We're literally next up. And it gets stuck at the top, dog. The people get stuck. And they're like, it's going to be like 2 hours. So we're like, we're not fucking waiting. And plus, it's sketchy, right?
Yeah.
So we leave. Bro, I swear to God, that week is when that fucking girl lost her leg on that ride, yo. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We were in like 6th grade.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, she lost her leg. Her leg got stuck in there when it was going down and ripped it off.
Yeah. Oh,
literally, bro. And that was the ride that had just got stuck. It was literally like not even a week, I believe. Like 5 days later.
That's why I just think those rides are just so fucking sketch, man. It's like, you know, it's like when things go wrong, it's like, okay, well, things can go fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I feel where you're coming from, but for me, it's like, you know, I hate to be the guy, but it's like things that go wrong when you go drive to work, you know? So I'm like, I'm a fucking live.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But that'd be a way to go. Just be like, I'm ejected from a fucking roller coaster. It's like, you ever, like,
it's still cooler than someone semi hitting you.
Well, it's like, so
your blind side.
So like, I don't mind roller coasters, but like when you get into like, you got that claw thing. Like, you ever see the one that like goes up
and spins?
That, and then like there's the video where like one collapses and it just freaking falls.
That's some carnival type shit. Yeah, that's like when they're letting them junkies hook up carnival rides. You see those
big ones though, you know.
Bro, I remember my cousin dog back in the day. Like,
don't fuck with him.
We literally, his dad was a huge junkie. They would literally come to town, bro, and he would get like 10 junkies, and they would all go right in Kmart. Fucking carnival. We'd get in for free and ride all the rides and shit, so that was cool.
Good hustle.
But every fucking guy was a junkie that I knew from Allentown running these kids' rides.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a lot of them are like, yeah, I guess what's the worst? Like, I mean, the ride's probably going to break down.
You turn it on, you turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. But then you got those cases.
Yeah.
You know?
So they got them coming by.
I've been with you. I remember I could not get you on that drop.
Yeah, no. I got on everything else. That was the one I wasn't doing.
You were not doing what I was doing. It's funny because that's the one I like because that's the one I feel like that about.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you got to do it. Now that you feel like that, you got to do it. That's how I like to try and think, you know?
Yeah, but like for me, it's like, it's just the drop, you know? Just like, you know,
it's like, you got to do what?
I've done them before. And that's where it's like,
happen.
That's where it's like, I've done them before. That's where it's like, I just don't like them. Like, to me, I can even enjoy roller coasters. You know, it gets me on that. It gets me on the edge. I'm scared of heights. The high speed, dangling. You're going on this drop. You're going straight up vertically. Sometimes it's just like, that's cool. You know, just like with those, it's just like I don't even like it. It's not even an enjoying thing. I've done them. You
See,
know,
my favorite part
I've
is the big
conquered that
drops.
fear, but I don't like it. It's not enjoyable.
Like I don't
ride,
like those roller coasters
you know?
that do like 50 loops like that and shit.
No, I hate those.
That's horrible.
You
I
know?
like the ones. I don't like ones that want to shoot you out 100 miles an hour.
I like
and
the
shit like
steep
that.
ones are fun.
I like doing things that you go up slow as fuck.
Yeah, bro.
and
The one-
you go down.
When we went to
bro.
Hershey Park, the one I did.
So when you get that drop, that's how I feel with the drop, you know? So I'm like, I get that part without having to do all the other shit on the roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like that. Like I like jumping off of like high shit into water. Like I like those type of drops. Those are just like you get like more than 1 second. You know, you got times where you're like
Yeah.
and then you got one of the times you're just like and that's that shit.
I've never done one of those.
Make your stomach feel weird.
But it's like, yeah, you know, I've done them. Just don't like them. So it's like, I'm not gonna do it because I don't like it.
You got to
know?
head out to it. With
Don't
us,
like it.
I got you.
But
Some people like
do
that. My sister's like that.
exactly.
Just won't get on any of it. You know, just no.
Yeah, it's like, but like, you know, like when you're talking about it, it's like it sounds like I'm fearing it, I'm scared of it. That's why I don't do it. I've, you know, kind of like
You
conquered
can do
that.
it.
You
feel
know,
like
exactly.
You can do it.
Yeah, I could get on
You
that
don't
thing,
want to.
and I'm not going to enjoy it. That's the thing. It's like, why am I going to go have a bad time on this ride if I don't enjoy it?
All right, one time before we die, I gotta.
Yeah, I got you.
See
I got
do
you.
it.
I got you. We can do that.
All right, I'm gonna ask one time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask at Hershey Park.
Yeah.
I'm asking a couple.
Is it been funner for him to like
Kingston Mini,
calling
bro.
it out, bro? That one's like
That one's the best one.
that
bro.
one's really
that
fucking
one's
wild.
Literally, like when you talk
They
about,
have
I
that-
haven't been scared to ride it ever, bro.
They have that one at
That's a
Cedar
scary
Point.
ride.
It's like I think it's like 200 or like some or like 250. It's like the tallest one in the world.
God,
It's
bro.
built into this roller coaster.
Wow,
And it does 3 people in 3 sets at a time.
that's crazy. I know Kings of Minutes has some crazy ass rides. You got to come to Beaver Dam with us next year, though. Yeah, just do that swing, man, because it's just like a good like 20-foot drop into water. And it's funny when you do
20
it.
foot. See, 20 foot's fun. That's a good one.
Yeah,
you
it's a
know?
go. That's like a moment where you go, you get more than 1 second.
Yeah.
You know, it was so cool because I just went out there with my 2 nephews, my older ones, you know, so I could do shit with them. And my oldest nephew, he wasn't worried about it at all. He went out there, you know, handled it and shit. But my youngest nephew, he's like he doesn't like heights, but he has heart, man, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, so we go up there and we go up there the first time, and I'm like, what do you want to do, Lane? I'm like, you want to go first? You want to go second? He's like, I'll go first. So I grab the thing for him and I hand it to him, and he's holding it on the end like this. He's like getting ready to go. He's like, so heavy. I talk about the thing, you know, it's like a metal thing you hold on to as a swing you go out. He's like, it's so heavy. He's like, I feel like it's gonna pull me off. I'm like, you're good. He's like, I'll go after Lewis. You know? So I'm like, all right, I'll go. You know, I'll be in the water waiting for you.
Yeah.
So I go. My nephew Lewis goes. He gets it, and then my nephew Landon's up there by himself, and another guy, nice little guy, hands him the thing, and he just won't go. Right, and I'm like, Landon, go. I'm like, just go. He won't even look at me. You know,
He's like,
he won't even look at me, bro. He just gives it to the next person. So I come by. We're going to do it again. Me and Lou. You know, we're getting back in line. He's just sitting there. I'm like, come on, Landon. You know, like, and you're not trying to force somebody,
exactly,
you know, but you're trying to like get them to go. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, let's do it. Come on,
do
put
it.
you down.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just like, he won't say nothing. He won't even look at me. He wouldn't even look me in my eyes, bro. So we did it a second time because I just want to try and show him, you know, like, no big deal. And Lou goes out and fucking falls hard, slips his hands, like let goes his hands early, belly flops. It was just we're geeking. And I go up the third time, you know, and I'm looking at him. And he's just like, and I had to get him, right? I had to grab him. I mean, I grab him by the head, and I'm just like, Len, I promise you, you're gonna regret this for the rest of your life.
Right.
And he's just like, and he comes, and he ends up doing it, man. It was like, man, he made me so proud when he did that, man.
Did you like it?
He loved it. We ended up doing it like 30 times.
Yeah.
Then I took him on all the other shit, you know, like I took him on the rock across there.
Yeah,
they got a big
exactly,
diving
They
board.
had a great time of day.
Another thing, and every time we got done something, he's like, I want that swing again.
Yeah.
You know, he realized he overcame something.
Exactly. Yeah.
There is something to that.
Yep.
Of like overcoming a fear.
It's a great feeling, and you also get that adrenaline afterwards. You're just like, wow.
Yeah. It's like when you stand up for yourself in a fight.
Yeah,
it's like that same type of thing, right?
You get that adrenaline pump.
You don't even care if you won or lost. Just like, I punched him.
Yeah, he could have flopped and just been like, I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And I still would have had some adrenaline going for it through him. Yeah, it's definitely a great feeling when you do something like that, especially when it comes to like overcoming a fear. You're not doing something simply just because you're scared of it, you know?
Right, because it's easy. Like when somebody doubts you, right?
Yeah.
It gives you fire.
Yeah.
It gives you fire to go, I want to fucking do it because fuck you.
Yeah.
But then when you doubt yourself, now you're like, it's hard to develop that same fire because like, well, you doubt yourself.
I remember when me and Bray went shooting, it was my first time shooting too, and she was really nervous. She didn't even want to go at first, and then she eventually ended up coming. And after she got like a hold and started like shot her first couple times, second clip, she's just like, just pop it off again, doing it faster. It's like, oh, I got this.
Quick reload.
Bow, 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 bow. It's like, so it's like, once you get by it, you have a good time. You learn time and time again. It's like that's happened before where he probably was scared of something, overcame it or didn't, and then just like you get to that moment, you realize you did it before. It's fun. You
the times you didn't stay with you.
Exactly.
Bro.
Yeah.
Stay with you, bro.
Yeah, I go back and do it.
Literally, that's how that's how it is. That literally is how it is. And it's just funny how we all have different things like that.
Yeah.
Like there's different triggers. Like that swing is nothing to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
But then like maybe
someone will go off and do 3 flips off that pitch.
Yeah, exactly. But then like Landon has something that he's not afraid of. That someone maybe clowns don't scare him, but another 8-year-old scared by clowns or something.
Exactly. Right? People always also have that. It's just that one thing about them. Where they're just like, nah, man.
Yeah.
I ain't fucking with it.
I don't fuck with that.
I don't fuck with that. It's like,
I don't do that.
It's like, hey, you want to go do it? No.
No, I've been told you.
I told you I don't fuck with it. Yeah, I mean, everyone has those things. I don't blame people for having those things because everyone has them. It's just like, it's just like for some reason in their head they've come up with some reason. Sometimes it's a very good logical reason in their head. It's very good sound reasoning. I hear them, I understand it.
And sometimes
it's like I see what you're scared about, bro.
Right, like reading out loud.
Yeah, right. Terrorizes some people.
Speaking to a group.
Yeah, group speak. Yeah, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. Yeah,
and just fucking traumatize people.
And that's one thing where it's like I used to be like that, but like in school, since you do that a lot. It made me not worried about it, so I see why they do it in schools.
I was always nervous in school. But some people,
Oh yeah, I was always nervous.
I do get it.
But like, yeah, and of course, different crowds, different people react to everything. But like, yeah, I think that prepared me to be better at it and feel more comfortable doing it. Just being
in front of people. Legit people decline to do it.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not going. I did the project, but I ain't going up there.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm straight. I ain't fuck that.
Well, whatever you want. Yeah, I ain't talking.
But I mean, like, I've seen people like go into panic over it. So I mean, like, there's a real fear behind shit like that. Just like an anxiousness, an anxiety to it.
An eyes on you type of thing is just so funny, right?
Exactly.
But it's like Andre Ward. He was one of the best boxers. He retired a few years back, undefeated. And he was talking on the Joe Rogan podcast about like the last time he lost. He was 14.
Right.
And he was retired when he's 32 as a professional. 30. It's like 34-0 or something like that.
Right.
And he was like the last loss I took when I was 14 years old, which is just amazing.
Exactly.
Like 20 years of boxing without an L.
He was like, no, I ain't it again.
But he was saying he's like that day. He's like even back then I used to always win. He's like, but there was this one boy. He's like. Other side of the bracket, knocking everybody out. He's like, I was beating people, but I was decisioning them. And he's like, everybody told me a boy gonna knock you out. And he's like, I let myself believe that this boy could knock me out.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, I lost a split decision. He didn't get knocked out. He's like, never been knocked out ever in boxing. He never got knocked out.
That's great.
Time, unconscious.
That's great. Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets. Get
exactly.
out. You still got everything too. You commentate now.
Yeah.
And he's just like
those are rare cases.
Yeah, and he's like from that one day I decided that I would rather die than I beat myself, basically. That somebody beat me before I got in the ring. That's what that was. Just straight up fear, And like he fought this guy Kovalov, who's a great fighter twice. He's like the first time went to a decision. He won, but he went to a decision. He's like, I respected this guy too much. I kept thinking, how they tell you, like, don't think what somebody's going to do to you. Think about what you're going to do to somebody. That's what my mom used to always tell me, like, don't worry about who's going to hit you. Worry about how you're going to hit somebody.
Isn't Poirier and Nurmagomedov, whatever.
Yeah, they fight.
They fight or no? That's
They
coming
fight
out.
Saturday.
That's coming out. That's this Saturday. Okay,
It's
I got
funny
you.
they fight at 2 in the afternoon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because of Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I'm on Khabib making $6 million.
It's funny because like
money for that fight.
So there's that, and like what? Before we even get to that, I want to ask you like what? Because you had the dude Justin Gaethje that you like, and you had Poirier that you also like, right?
Yeah, I mean I like Poirier, but I'm Tony Ferguson all the way. And Tony Ferguson my favorite fighter. But I was just saying like if Tony's not gonna beat Khabib, I think Justin can. I think Gaethje can.
Yeah, you don't think Poirier can?
Ah man, it's gonna be hard. He's not out of it.
From my understanding, just like Khabib just got this fucking great wrestler. There's no way ins and outs around it.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about a guy like that because he never went to the Olympics or nothing.
Yeah.
But all the Olympics, all the Olympians that are in those camps, he's like he tosses around Olympians.
Yeah.
It's crazy when people say that, right?
Exactly.
And the funny thing is he's never had his dad in his cage who trained him all his life. In the USA because he couldn't get a fucking visa.
Right.
So now he's in Abu Dhabi. His dad's in his corner and shit. And he's like, when father in corner, I'd rather die. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, he said shit like that. Or like,
I remember his dad smacking him around for the Conor McGregor shit.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm hungry. But
I
don't know, man. It's gonna be hard, dude. Because like the only way I guess he could crack Khabib. But Khabib got the chin too, so that's tough. So it's like the only way I could see him catching Khabib in a submission, but it had to put Khabib to sleep or break something because Khabib is not going to tap in Abu Dhabi.
Right. In front of his dad.
In front of his dad. It's just not going to happen.
I'm sure he's never tapped in front of his dad.
He's never tapped. He's undefeated.
He's never been tapped in training?
Maybe. When they tap, they don't let go. Did you see that when they play basketball? The when they play basketball, he tackles that guy. They fucks him up.
Everyone made fun of him for that, but they didn't understand what they were doing, you know?
And the guy taps out, and he just keeps holding it. He just don't even care. It was so funny when he just comes. He runs full speed from the 3-point line, throws it as hard as he can,
runner,
Nazi style, bangs it on the backboard and bangs it.
And the way he runs off,
yeah, he's like he puts his
the way he does,
he just puts his head down.
His head down.
Kobe. That was so funny, but that guy Walt Harris who does all that filming for them, he's the anatomy of a fighter guy. Shout out to him because he's really good. But he was like after going over there and seeing, he stayed with them for a couple weeks.
Right.
Nobody's gonna beat Khabib. That's what he said. That's what he said. Nobody's gonna beat Khabib. It's a different kind of life. But that boy Tony will fuck him up.
It's just so
people are a little worried right now though because
I love when you get those types of reactions where people are just like, no. It's different over there.
Yeah, it's way different. It's black guy too because it's so funny. It's just like different. But
there's some shit I've never
Khabib
seen.
missed his media today, which people are a little worried about. That might mean weight problems. So Tony Ferguson is on standby there to fight.
Okay.
So if he can't make weight,
that'd be fucked.
That would be fucked. I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
I want, I hate to say it, I like Dustin, but I want Khabib to win and Tony fight Khabib because that's what Dana said. That's for sure. And I think Tony beats Khabib. I've always said it, man. Yeah. Well, he's got too much going on.
You want 200 on that fight? 200. I got Khabib.
I will make the bet, man. I will put the money on Tony, man.
That'd be a salty loss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read more. Doing such an uneducated bet right there. I'm just like, Khabib.
I don't see how. I see multiple ways Tony beats him. That's all I'm saying.
Let me. I'm gonna look at the odds in Vegas first. I'm gonna do some study.
There was that weird part of they were talking about on that Andre Ward podcast where they were talking about like Roy Jones was fighting that guy Antonio Tarver, and when Tarver went to the corner, his corner man was like, "You're giving Roy too much respect," and he like just apparently looked at him and was like, "We don't use that word in this corner." And he went out and knocked him out. It's crazy, bro. It's like that's what I'm saying, like, bro.
So,
fighters are a different.
I love when you hear like this historic like one-liners.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't say that in this corner. It just comes back. He's just like,
and he cracks Roy, and he's just like,
what? What are we saying?
It's funny because
Oh,
I
man.
believe
Talk about
I believe the first time he beat him in points. And you know when they went to go and like Roy was like, I was off that night, which a lot of shit goes into Roy, blah blah blah. There's a big argument to it, but when they go to fight the second time and they meet up in the middle, Tarver goes, any excuses tonight, Roy? And it's just like ice cold, dog. And then he knocked him out. That was the fight that knocked him out. You're just like,
no one-liner. No one-liner.
Fuck. It's like, God.
To me, your legacy is severely diminished if you don't have a hard one-liner.
Yeah, Roy should have came back with something. Roy should have definitely came back with something.
I'll give you excuse.
KO, bitch.
just say I'll give you an excuse.
It's weird though when somebody fucks you up, you know? It's like if somebody fucked you up on the street. You don't want to fight that guy again, you know? You do, but you know.
But it's also different when like it's competition, like you have rules and regulations. This is like only hands, straight up, square up. And it's just like, boom, knock your dumb ass out.
He's
all I had was my hands.
He's better.
All I had was my hands.
Than me.
All I had was my hands in combat.
It's the worst thing ever.
Exactly.
It's the worst thing ever to tell yourself is like, I trained all my life for this. He's better than me.
Simple as that.
I trained all my life.
He 3-0'd me. I did not beat him once.
Like, knocked me on the first round. But then it's like Daniel Cormier.
And he had a good one-liner.
But then Cormier knocks out Stipe in first round, right? Stipe comes back and knocks out Cormier.
Yeah, I remember you were saying about that. I was just like,
that's a different kind of guy right there,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
They were, like, he just sat out for that year. And that whole year,
then,
like, Stipe's just like
Rocky. And it hurts DC's legacy overall.
Rocky 3, you know, whatever it was, where he's just in the ice cold.
So now,
that was Stipe, bro.
So now, if DC comes back, you gotta have a rematch. You gotta knock him out, or you know,
he's gotta win.
Exactly.
They both knocked each other out.
Just gotta win now.
No, the next one's just about winning.
Yeah, I got you. Just get that victory and get that last W.
It's funny when Dana met up with Cormier after the fight, and he's just like,
no sweet.
Cormier's, got his head down, and Dana's like, it's an awesome fight, man. And Cormier's like, I'm an idiot. He's like, I was up on all the judges' cards, all 3 rounds I was winning. He's like, I'm an idiot, man. Why did I fight like that? Like, literally, he was just upset when
that's the kind of thing he would come back. You know, he's like, I'm better than that.
Yeah. It's just weird, like, what happened there. It's like, in his head, he just, like, we really thought he was going to bitch a 6'5", 240-pound man.
What's your favorite sports moment? Let's narrow it down to more recently, you know? Let's say, like past 10 years, possibly.
I can think of a billion of them because I just got so many.
What comes to mind first?
First one that comes to mind is fucking Rory McDonald versus Robbie Lawyer, bro. That's always the one I remember, and just seeing that war, and then right there at the end of the second round when the horn blows and neither one of them go back to their corner. They're just straight up like, and there's like, I want that picture right here, bro. I told you about it. I want the Mazadov knee, and I want that right there when they just look at each other. Like I believe it's Herb Dean's like got his hand like this, and Rory's just like this, and Robbie's just like this. And like the horn done blown, they just sit there for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Just like, it's like, it's that moment right there is like, just describes why I love the fight, man. Yeah. It's just like, what the fuck is that? You know, like that's 2 fucking bulls that went at it 20 times and they're both still standing, just like, whoa, you know, like Robbie's lips hanging off.
You literally see
nose is crushed.
You see the moment that
it's like
Lola passes him because he hits him that one time and he just like feels it. No, done.
On that moment though, right there, it's like he's saying, you know, they're both saying, I'm trying to go jungle with it, right?
Right.
Like they're both saying, good job.
Yeah.
Right, but they still got that. I'm coming to kill you in 2 seconds,
when
right?
he spits that fucking blood.
I'm coming to kill you in 2. It's like
he's there. He's just like spits that blood leaking.
There's like a mutual. Yeah, it's like there was like a
when they
right
stared
there,
exactly
in that second. There was like a mutual understanding of like, oh, you're one of me.
Yeah. They do, exactly.
Okay, you know, and they're just like looking at each other's eyes, like that movement of just like the tension between them two. You know? Like, I don't even want to be the guy putting my arm right there, you know? Like, these guys are just like, if you said fight to the death, those 2 would have fought till one of them died.
Yeah.
And the other person would have been so injured they probably died. You know, like that was just such a different fucking type of thing right there, bro.
It's definitely an unmatched moment, you know, when I think about it, you know, especially when it comes down to that, especially that sport, you know. It's like unmatched as far as like, one of like the top like sports moments of like all time. Even it's like up there with that moment, just because like not only did you have like the blood, you had the fight, you saw the willpower, but you saw the mutual understanding of those two.
I'm like,
it makes it different.
Yeah, bro.
It wasn't just a good fight. It was one of those.
And it wasn't like a lot of times
moments.
they're high five or they're hug.
No,
it was just none of that. The whole fight, it was none of that.
A referee between them, they're pushing on the ref. And
literally, I won't even go back to this corner, bro. I'm right here. You know what I mean? Like, just next level, 2 lions in the middle of the fucking jungle.
Exactly.
Squaring it up, bro.
Exactly.
They're both wounded. They're both on the verge of death. And it's like, I got more. It's just,
I'll keep going.
You might not even live, but you're just going to kill this person.
Yeah.
Like, that's just next level.
Next level moment right there. I'll tell you one of my favorites. Especially since I don't watch fighting as much, was last year. In the Champions League, I think it's like Atletico Madrid had two up away goals against Juventus, and pretty much the only way they could win is if they score 3 goals. Yeah, and at the end of that 2-0 victory for Atletico, the coach comes over, he's like grabbing his dick and shit in the crowd and everything, just going off. Ronaldo comes back, scores that fucking hat trick in that away match, and wins them goals. And he just starts coming back to the crowd. He's just like, shit, just like, for me, it's like one of those moments, is like one of those fire, just the fire behind it, just like, you kind of just saw like raw emotion. Yeah,
for sure. Like, bet you didn't think I would do that, bitch.
Exactly.
And there you go.
And then they come back and just do it 3 goals, just like, boom, got the hat trick.
Yeah, like I could, like, that's what I was saying. Like, I can think of a lot of things, like in sports like that, of like moments like that. But they just
that's different. That's untouched.
None of them compare
untouched exactly
to human damage.
Exactly.
You're a damaged fucking
when it comes
human,
to fighting.
Like Fury getting up in that 12th round. When he got rocked, you're just like, whoa, bro! I never see nobody get hit like that.
That was fucking hilarious. He's just sitting there, just like.
I love how they just do the Undertaker thing.
Exactly.
They play the Undertaker music. Yeah. And he just gets up, and then he wins the round.
Like on the 8 count, like literally on the 8 count.
Like, he wins. It's just like, I'm good.
What's up?
That was literally God. That was literally God touching.
What's up?
That's why he donated all that money, because he knew, like, that was God that did that.
But there was a God, that was it.
Yeah, that's a God. There's a God. If you get hit like that, you get up there. Bro, he cracked him and knocked him out. I actually think, like, my theory is that either his head hitting the ground or the second Wilder hit is what brought him back to life. Because the first hit, his big ass just goes down. And as he's going down, Wilder hits him with a left from out.
And he's just breathing.
And then he hits the back of the canvas like, walk up. It might have been he might have ate the straight, ate the left. And then when his head hit the canvas like that, he came back. That's really what I think it might have been, bro.
That's what I would love for it to be. Like,
and then from there,
please do an interview and confirm that.
Talk about a fight I'm excited for.
Like, bro, what if he came out? He's just like, all right, like the first one put me out, the second one brought me back. That's why bang my head, I'll go back out.
That's why I love, like, well, I don't love him, but it's just so funny when they say shit like that. Like the funniest one ever is Alex Overeem, where he's like, he got knocked out, and he's like, I'm pretty sure I felt the tap. And he's like the one who just got knocked out. And then, like, they're showing the replay, and he's getting knocked out in the video. And he's like, yeah, tap's right there. And the guy just gets up and knocks him out. He's like, there was never a tap out there. He's like, pretty sure I felt the tap. And it's like, all they did was the scrambling, and then like they both scrambling, he gets knocked out. He's just like has no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
Like, Ben Askren said he don't remember nothing till the hospital.
Yeah.
He didn't even know what happened.
Exactly. I remember the interview he did after that day. He's like, I feel fine after that, just like don't remember anything.
I don't think that was true. I really don't. I think that he definitely had some problems. It just, like, from all accounts of the people that go on the Rogan podcast, like, all them fighters, none of them ever said that you're going to get knocked out, period, yet alone how he did. The next day.
I think as far as like overall damage and being sore from fighting or like being fatigued, like he just got knocked out,
Brain. They said that literally, like, if you see a bit of light, if there's light cracking through the curtains, it's just immense pain. Like, you just cannot be around light. You can't talk. You don't feel nothing the next day. It's like CTE setting in. It's really what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, like, seemed good when I was talking. He
ain't been knocked out like that many times, right?
Yeah.
You like to think.
And like I said, it was the one hit that took him out. So it's like.
But then he ate 2 unconscious.
But you also don't have the fatigue of fighting 3 rounds. You don't have the soreness of the head.
Ask him which one he would want.
And you don't have. So let's say he went through a full 3, like almost
and got his ass whooped for 3 rounds.
No, and then took that knee to the face with the 2 hits.
Oh, okay.
You feel worse.
That's what I'm saying. For sure.
I'm saying, like the benchmark for when like you're fighting over 3 rounds.
His brain took damage.
Took more hits overall. It's like I think you might feel better than.
There's no way this don't hurt, right? Like that face.
Like you wouldn't feel as bad. You still feel like shit, but you're like it could be worse. Like my other side of the face could still be beat, and my other face could be beat. You know, it's like
imagine how
I could be cut open.
His brain hit his head.
Yeah,
like how hard.
And then you were just like dong dong. You know.
Yeah, and the thing is, they were 2 bouncing ones.
Yeah,
you know, I call them bouncing ones. That means when they hit you, your head also bounced off the ground.
Exactly.
So Drew. And it's like, oh my god.
And you
can literally hit yourself like this, and you feel it. You're like, oh my god. You know, you can imagine somebody cracking down.
And you also know, like when like they're sitting there, just like.
That's how he was.
Too, exactly. Bro. Like throughout the whole thing, it was just.
And he's.
It was like rocking.
I don't even like laughing at it, but it's just
because it's terrible. But like,
and then like that part, like that's another like memory where Masvidal's come next to him. He's like, "Talk that shit now." While this dude's unconscious.
Exactly.
And then in the interview, he's like, "I'll fuck him up. I see him in Whole Foods. I never like him. I don't care. I'm not gonna get.
I don't care. That's what he does.
That sucks. You know? That sucks to hear that. Like you just got obliterated by a dude,
and then like,
and he's still talking about fucking you.
You know, it's real because like the dude Jorge overall is like. Pretty cool dude. Like I remember like with Nate Diaz recently winning, like Nate Diaz called him out respectfully, of course, but like you see him in the crowd, and he's just like,
just laughing, yeah.
He's like, hey, hey.
It's like ching. That's what
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, right.
That's all he seen was dollar sign.
Yeah.
He's like, thank you.
But I mean, of course, but he'll never that never happened between him and Ben. You know, it's like even if Ben came out was just like, I'm sorry, Masvidal. You know, I apologize. Let's be professional. They'll probably still harbor that hate.
You know how I watch all the background shit.
Yeah.
So, like, the video of them linking up got released of, like, when he's talking about, like, you know, Ben was talking all this shit. And when I seen him, he tried to act all friendly. That really did happen. You know, I never had seen what happened, but.
Ben or Jorge?
Jorge's in the lobby of the motel, of the hotel.
But I'm saying, was he trying to be friendly or was.
Ben was.
Ben was, okay.
Jorge ain't being friendly at all, bro.
Yeah,
if you hear this shit, dog.
Like, fuck you, bro. Yeah.
When, Ben walks through and he sees Jorge. You can already see that Ben is a little scared, bro. Like you can see it in someone, you know?
Right.
And he's like, hey, what's up, man? That's what he says, bro. After he talked all this shit to this guy, he's like, hey, what's up, man? And then Jorge gets up, you know, hands behind the back, and he's like, I'm going to break your fucking face. He's like, talk all that fucking shit now. I'm going to break your I can't wait to break your fucking face. And Ben's like, I heard you're a tough guy. And he's like, I'm gonna really fucking hurt you, man. He's not laughing.
No, he's serious.
And then at the end, he gives like that evil chuckle. He's like, I'm gonna really break your fucking face.
Yeah.
And he does it.
Exactly. He practices a specific move
to break your face.
Exactly.
He literally broke your face.
Exactly. It wasn't like he was like, oh, no, make sure you watch out for this and immediately sprawl. No, like, throw that fucking knee.
No matter who you are, though, right? Like, if you see it, I could be the baddest motherfucker on the planet. If another guy that my height and my weight says, I'm going to break your fucking face like that, you still feel something, right? You still feel like, I could probably beat him, but fuck. That guy really wants to hurt me.
Exactly, yeah. It's different than, I think.
The type of bully you don't want, right?
Exactly.
You know how some bullies are just bullshit. They throw shit at you or something like that. And then there's like that one bully that's like, after school, I'm going to fucking see you on the bus. And you're just like,
exactly.
Can you just throw a crayon at me?
Stand up for yourself again. I'll fucking kill you.
I'm bringing more people.
We will bank you.
Get in the back of the bus.
Do you understand?
We're going to beat you up in the back of the bus.
We will bank you.
Don't do nothing when I beat you up.
And now you're just like, they're going to bank me.
Yeah, I guess I'm walking. I guess I could walk for 2 weeks and hope this dies down.
Yeah. I guess I'm taking the long way home now. It sucks it's even an option. So it's like, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of them horrific things. Another banger in the books, baby.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. This was the fucking shit show.
Keep tuning in. Thank you, everybody.
I also got pissed, too, bro.